Hey everyone, Mark Ferguson with InvestFourMore, back with another video for you guys. Today I'm going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes fix and flippers make when they're rehabbing a house, trying to buy and sell for a profit. A lot of pitfalls out there, a lot of things people don't realize when they get into the fix and flipping game. So we're going to get into a lot of good stuff in this video. First, as always, be sure to check out my blog, InvestFourMore.com. That's invest and the number 4 spelled out, F-O-U-R, and M-O-R-E.com. Got over 400 free articles, tons of great resources, free ebooks, lots of stuff going on. Also, if you didn't hear about it or haven't seen, my book, How to Build a Rental Property Empire, is out. It's in paperback and ebook. Came out as an Amazon #1 new release, so that was pretty cool. Thank you guys for doing that. Love to hear your reviews on Amazon or shoot me an email as well. And yeah, my fix and flip book has been doing awesome as well. So any emails or any questions you guys have for me, I'm always open to answer in the comments section, or email me, mark@investformore.com. Thanks a lot, and we will get going here. All right, so I've been flipping houses since 2001, about there. Started out with my dad. We did it for a while, then ended up buying him out, do it all myself now. I have 11 flips going at the moment, and I've got another one I'm buying next week, so I'll have 12 at once. It's kind of tricky. Be a little stressful having that many flips, but it's fun at the same time. So I've seen a lot, been through a lot with flips. There's a lot of mistakes I see being made from people who've contacted me about flips before, mistakes I've made myself on flips. And also in some of my coaching programs, I see people who make mistakes in flips and try and figure them out and make sure they don't do that again. But hopefully this video can give you an idea of what to watch out for, what to be careful with when fix and flipping a house. The #1 mistake I see for flippers is not knowing all of the costs that there will be on a flip. You watch HGTV, you watch the house flipping shows. They glamorize the repairs, the dealing with the contractors. They kind of gloss over buying the house, financing it, and selling it, which is all very expensive. And if you do the numbers, I wrote an article on the house flipping shows. They leave out like half the cost on some of them. They're just completely, I almost call it dishonest the way they portray those shows. But when you're looking at the cost on a flip, obviously you have the purchase price. Then you have the repairs. And I always tell people, add 20% to what your repair budget is, because on just about every flip, you're going to go over your budget for unknowns or contractor costs or who knows what. But always budget for more than you think it's going to cost you. And then you've got your carrying costs, which most people completely ignore. So while you own the house, you're going to have to pay for insurance. You have to pay for property taxes. If there's an HOA, you'll have to pay the HOA. Maintenance, if you need to mow the lawn, if you need to remove snow, all of that, you've got to pay for, just like you're a regular homeowner living there. You've got to have someone doing all that stuff. And then, you've got your financing costs on top of that. So you've got your carrying costs, your repair costs, and your financing costs. Most people aren't out there paying cash for flips. Maybe some are. I'm not. Most of the investors I know are not. So you have financing costs with private lenders, hard money, maybe local banks like I use, but it can add up to, $1,000 a month or more on those financing costs. So the longer you hold that property, the more you'll have in carrying costs, financing costs, and we haven't even talked about selling costs yet. So when you sell the property, you have to pay real estate agents to sell it for you. Now, there's some people who want to do it themselves. I don't recommend it. I think you'll get more money using a professional, having them market it for you, value it, do all of that. I'm a realtor myself, so I can save a commission when I list the property, but I still pay a cooperating broker 3% when I list my properties. Sometimes I even offer a higher commission to get them sold fast. So I've got to pay that 3%. Plus, I've got to pay for title insurance for the new buyer in most cases. Plus, maybe recording fees, some other fees that come along, closing fee for the title company, and maybe even the buyer wants me to pay some of their closing costs for the loan. So I can easily pay, 5, 6, 7% of the selling price in selling costs, even as an agent myself, saving money. So if you're not an agent, you'll have even higher costs for selling the home. So one of the biggest mistakes I see, not accounting for all those costs. Repair costs, carrying costs, financing costs, selling costs. And there will be some buying costs as well. If you need an inspection when you buy the house, not all sellers will pay for your title insurance. So like HUD, won't pay for title insurance. They won't pay for the utilities that be turned on during the inspection. They don't pay for any of that. They won't pay a closing fee. So you'll have more costs with them when you buy a property as well. So make sure you take all that into account. Don't just say repairs plus purchase price and assume the rest is profit, because it won't be. All right, another mistake I see fix and flippers make, which I made myself, probably one of the biggest mistakes of my career, but it also was a good thing. It helped open my eyes and brought a lot more opportunities to me later on. But making the repairs yourself on a flip. You see this a lot on TV too. And it's really, really hard to fix up a house on the weekends and after work. It's really not realistic for most people. Unless you've got a flip that just needs like almost no work, all minor, very cosmetic. It's really tough to find the time. I'm hiring contractors for houses. I'm dealing with them all the time. I have a hard enough time getting contractors to do the work in a timely manner, let alone if it was me trying to do it on the side after hours, trying to get it done. So the biggest mistake I see with doing the work yourself is, one, most people aren't qualified to do the work, so you might not be doing it correctly. You might not be doing it safely. You might not be doing it so it looks nice, which will make your house worth less money than if a professional is doing it. Two, it's going to take you way longer. It's just going to take you probably 3 or 4 times as long as a contractor to do it, if not longer, just because you don't have the time. You can't spend every day there working on the house, and you're not as knowledgeable as a contractor, so the stuff you are doing will take you even longer than them to do. And then finally, it will just burn you out. That's what happened to me. Is I got so frustrated being there every day. It took me so long to do everything. I had no time to do anything else. I was losing all these opportunities for finding new properties or selling houses, doing other stuff, because all my time was consumed with this property. And I went into it thinking I would save money on labor, save money on all the costs because I was doing it myself, and it cost me way more money by doing it myself because it took so much longer. The work wasn't done as nice as a contractor would have done it, no matter how much I think my work is awesome. And it just, it very, very frustrating for me as well, personally and professionally in my life. So be very careful. Unless you're a professional contractor who does this for a living and you can allot enough time to doing the work yourself, try to hire a contractor, try to hire help out, because it will make the process very slow. And we talked about the carrying costs and the financing costs. If you're doing the work yourself and it takes you 3 months longer to do get everything done, you just lost all the money you saved right there because of the time it took you to do it on the financing costs, on the carrying costs. So try not to do the work yourself on a flip. All right, another mistake I have made, and I've seen been made by other people, is buying houses at trustee sales or local foreclosure auctions. These are the auctions where the house is being foreclosed on. For the bank to get it back into their own possession, it has to go through a foreclosure sale. And in many states, the general public has the ability to buy homes at this foreclosure sale. Usually, you've got to pay cash right away. There's no guarantee of title, of clear title, no guarantee of possession, no warranties. Homes are sold in as-is condition. Now, you can find some good deals at these sales. We used to buy a lot of homes at the trustee sale. I haven't been there in 2 years personally because prices have been driven up so high by investors. I still get most of my deals from the MLS. But you still can, I've heard from people getting great deals at the trustee sales in different areas. But you have to be so careful when you buy from these trustee sales because there's no guarantee of clear title. You have to have a title company that knows their stuff really well, can pull title for you before the sale, make sure you're bidding on a first loan. I've seen that before where someone's bidding on, hey, this house is worth $200,000 and the opening bid's $50,000. This is a no-brainer. They go out and bid on it. They didn't realize they bid on a $50,000 second, and there's a $200,000 first that they now have to pay off in second position to get to that house. A lot of things you have to watch out for. Not all tax liens might come back. Water, HOA, not all those are paid off when you buy a home at the trustee sale. You might still have those costs. If the home is occupied, you are responsible for getting that person out, not the bank. That's you. So you've got to evict them, do it for cash for keys. You've really got to be careful when dealing with trustee sales. And one thing we had happen to us, which was really not our fault, was the previous owner of a house we bought sued the bank saying they foreclosed wrong the day before we bought at the trustee sale. And they honestly thought they're going to get the house for free because the bank foreclosed wrong. The bank didn't do anything wrong. It's just some lawyer trying to get money from them. But it tied up the house for a year while we waited for the courts to hear this case. As soon as they heard it, they kicked it out. It was dismissed. But we had to pay all the holding costs and everything for a year while these people sued the bank trying to get the house for free. So that's just some of the things that can happen in the trustee sale. Please do your research. Make sure you're really looking at things, before buying properties at that venue. It can be very, very risky. And where I'm at, the prices do not justify that risk. That's why I stopped buying there. Another mistake I see flippers make is they price a home too high when they list it for sale. So the flipper goes through the remodel, everything takes longer than they thought, everything's more expensive than they thought. Think, hey, I will make up for it by pricing my home more than it's worth, or more than I thought it was worth. And what normally happens is the home sits on the market. There's no showings, there's no offers, and the investor realizes, okay, I priced it too high, I'll lower it now. Well, after 2 months or 6 weeks, you lower the price. People see the price now as reasonable, but they start to wonder, okay, why hasn't this house sold yet? Why has it been on the market for 60 days? Why has it been for sale for so long? And some people will even say, hey, there must be something wrong with it. I'm not even going to look at it because it's been on the market so long. And it doesn't make sense, Maybe there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe it fell out of contract or they didn't, price it right to begin with. But that's just the mentality of some people. And the longer a home sits on the market, the less it's going to sell for, even when you reduce the price, even when you correct the problem that you start out with. So by raising the price higher than it's really worth and trying to get, some miracle offer to come in, you're probably costing yourself even more money when you're trying to make up for money that you already lost. So the best advice for people who are in a tight situation with a fix and flip, they spent too much, they're not going to make as much money. Don't make it worse by pricing it too high. Price it where it should be to sell so you can get out of it, move on, make money with a new deal. Because the longer that house is on the market, your money is tied up and you could be doing other things with that money, which will be making you money, not sitting there just waiting for someone to come along and buy your house. All right, the last mistake I want to talk about that fix and flippers make is partnering when they don't have to. I talk to a lot of people who come to me and say, hey, I've got this partner, we're really good at this, we're going to be awesome, we're all set up, we just need a little bit of help. And my first question is, okay, what does your partner do and what do you do? It's like, well, we're both real excited about real estate, we've got both have some money, we both have some credit, we're going to get some. I'm like, well, okay, why do you need your partner? That's my next question. I'm like, well, I don't know if I need my partner, but I just, I feel comfortable, I'll be more assured of myself if I have this partner to help me out. And fix and flipping with a partner is very risky. It's very dangerous. If you don't have to have a partner, I would avoid it at all costs. Now, there are some great partnerships in flipping. Usually they have to do with one person providing all the money and the other person doing all the work, finding the deals, getting everything done. But if you've got split responsibilities for who's doing work, who's got the money, it can be very tricky figuring out, one, who makes what percentage does each person get, two, what responsibilities does each person get, and three, what happens if one of those partners does not follow through on what they're supposed to be doing. And usually that's what happens. It's not an easy game, fix and flipping. It's not easy to buy houses, repair them, go through that whole thing. And one partner many times sees that, and then they start to get less motivated, put less work into it, and they don't put the work that has to be done to get deals. So if you're going to work with a partner, always make sure every single thing is in writing, every single responsibility, how much time they're supposed to put into it, how much time they're supposed to work, what the money sharing will be, who will be responsible for what. If the partner wants to back out, what happens? Do they get bought out? Do they lose their share? Everything's got to be in writing. And if you don't need a partner, don't get one, just to be a little bit more confident in your abilities. It'll make things tougher. You'll have someone else who has to approve everything. Everything will get done slower, and many times it won't work out well. So really think about it before you get a partner, just to get a partner if you don't need them. And if you want a partner for financing, I always love to do straight private money lending on an interest rate instead of giving away a percentage of the profits. I make more money, I have more control, and that's easier for me. Well, it's not always an option for everyone, but that's how I like to do things. All right, thank you everyone for watching the video. Hope it was helpful. Again, check out my website, InvestFourMore.com, for a lot more information. Welcome to leave a comment, and I do my best to respond as fast as I can. All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day.